I have come with the module 8.2 where I am going to explain 6 problems for computing business income. I told you module 8 is about computation of income from business and profession. It has only 4 modules and it's very simple. I told you just the basic accounting knowledge you can do these problems. But the format is there, just a recollection. We have learned how you will do the format we have learned in module 8.1. Now 6 problems we are going to do, and after doing the 6 problems you will be thorough with the computation because it's not at all difficult. You are not going to learn anything new here. What all you have learned over the years, that is what we are going to do that. So here please remember that this will be very simple computation and you will be able to score the full marks for this problem. So that is the advantage of that, and 6 problems we are going to do and all the adjustments I will cover in this. So this, if you do it again and again, you will be thorough with that. So I told you, as I'll always tell you, the best way to learn is your hard work. You do it again and again, then you can learn that, then you can become an expert in this. So I'm going to explain with the help of PowerPoint presentation. Now the first problem, from the following profit and loss account of Mr. K for the assessment year 2021, you have to calculate the business income. So only one information is there in the additional information. That is why I have included that allowable depreciation as per the Income Tax Act is 4,500. Otherwise I had to waste one slide for just giving that information. So that is why I have included it here. Now debit side, if you see, salaries, rent, commission on sales, income tax, entertainment expenses, commission paid for collecting securities, embezzlement by cashier, municipal taxes for house property, bad debts allowed, repairs for house property, office expenses, depreciation, LIC premium, and net profit 40,100. Now what you have to do, you have to use your accounting knowledge. What all incomes, what all expenditures are related to business. So salary is allowed for business, rent is allowed, commission on sales is allowed, income tax is not allowed. Entertainment expenses, here it is not given that it's for personal guests. So we can assume that it's for treating business customers. So it can be allowed. Now commission paid for collecting securities. It is not allowed because it is related to income from other sources. Embezzlement by cashier. Here you can allow that because it's lost from the organization. If the amount is lost from the house, residence of the owner, proprietor, or after depositing money in the bank, if it's lost, we cannot allow that. So here it is allowed. Now municipal tax for house property, not allowed because it is related to the house property. It should be treated under house property income. Bad debts allowed. It can be allowed. Repairs for house property, not allowed because it related to income from house property. Office expenses can be allowed. Depreciation, I told you, we will disallow this item, and whatever is given in the additional information, we will take it. Now LIC premium, it's personal, it's not allowed. So net profit also we are getting. Now if you see the credit side, gross profit 80,000. We don't have to consider that because after considering gross profit only we arrived at the net profit. So our calculation will be starting with the net profit. Now bank interest, it is not allowed because it should go to income from other sources. Bad debts recovered, allowed earlier. It's an income because when it's allowed as an expense, now we reduce the income that much. Now again you are recovering. So that is an income for the firm. It is allowed. Now income from house property, it is not allowed because it should go to income from house property. Now interest on commercial securities, not allowed because it should go to income from other sources. The table showing the computation of business income of Mr. K for the assessment year 2021. We are starting with the net profit. Net profit is given in the profit and loss account as 40,100. Add inadmissible expenses debited to profit and loss account. Already I told you which all items we are not going to allow. Income tax, commission paid to collect interest on securities, municipal taxes for house property, repairs of house property, depreciation, life insurance premium. So 40,100 plus all these disallowed items total 11,170. When you add, you will get 51,270. Now I told you have to reduce actual depreciation which is given in the additional information. In this problem, it's 4,500. So you are reducing that. Now you are getting 46,770. Now 46,770. I carried forward to this slide. Now, less incomes not taxable under this head. From where you will get these items? From the credit side of the profit and loss account. Now, last slide we have completed debit side of profit and loss account and additional information. Now, here what we are going to do is credit side we are going to see. Incomes not taxable under this head. Bank interest, I told you it should go to income from other sources. Income from house property. It should be treated under house property income. Interest from commercial securities. It should go to income from other sources. So from 46,770, we are reducing this total 7,250. So you are getting business income 39,520. Actually, we started with net profit 40,100. Here we are getting a less business income. But usual in other cases, we will get a higher income where the assessee will have to pay more tax. So it differs. However, we are calculating, we will arrive at the final value. For that, he has to pay the tax. So we will go to the next problem. Opening stock. From the following particulars of a manufacturing concern, compute the taxable business income for the assessment year 2021. So opening stock value. It's allowed for business. Purchases allowed. Stores consumed allowed. Power and fuel allowed. Rates and taxes allowed. We have to see that whether there is any additional information. Repairs to machinery allowed. Repairs to building. That we have to see that whether it's business building or residential building. Miscellaneous expenses allowed. Salaries and wages allowed. Credit side if you see sales value is there. Miscellaneous income it's allowed. Closing stock allowed. Now continuing with that, contribution to recognized provident fund. It's not allowed. Contribution to recognized provident fund not allowed. 6,200. Staff welfare expenses. Staff contribution to recognized provident fund is 6,200. Staff welfare expenses allowed. Bonus allowed. Insurance 2,500. It is not mentioned whether it's for personal or for business. Agent's commission allowed as a business expenditure. Selling expenses allowed. Audit fees allowed. Bad debts allowed. License fees allowed. Interest allowed. Provision for taxation not allowed, because any provision, any reserve, it's an appropriation of profit. It's an item for profit and loss appropriation account not allowed. Now continuing, depreciation 40,000, it's not allowed. Whatever depreciation given in the additional information we will allow. Now net profit is 30,500. So now we will see additional information. Miscellaneous expenses include. So that we have to adjust. Miscellaneous expenses, penalty for violation of foreign exchange regulations 1,200. It is not allowed. Any fine, any penalty, it's not allowed. Expenses to defend criminal case against managing director rupees 3,000 not allowed. Any legal expenses not allowed. We have seen that in the format. Donations to Prime Minister's Drought Relief Fund. Donations, charities not allowed. Wealth tax paid not allowed. Donations to Mr. Singh not allowed. Bad debts include a sum of rupees 500 for advances to suppliers of raw materials with whom assessee had exclusive arrangements for purchase of such materials. So we have to see that what is the actual value and what is this 500. Now miscellaneous incomes include refund of advance income tax. So miscellaneous income, refund of advance income tax cannot be allowed. In the credit side we have seen that miscellaneous income was there. Refund of income tax it's not allowed. Allowable depreciation. I told you always actual depreciation allowed will be there in the additional information. So compute taxable business income. Now table showing the computation of taxable business income for the assessment year 2021. So always it should be in the format, table format. So net profit we are starting with 30,500 that is given in the profit and loss account. Now add disallowed expenses already debited to profit and loss account. Provision for taxation not allowed. Depreciation 40,000. Actual depreciation given in the additional information is 36,000. That we will adjust as the next step. Now penalty for violation of FERA not allowed. Foreign Exchange Regulation Act not allowed. Expenses to defend criminal case not allowed. Donations, both the values 2,000 and 5,000. Two donations are mentioned, it's not allowed. Actually the contribution to RPF is allowed. Donation to contribution to unrecognized provident fund is not allowed. We have learned that in the statement also. So contribution to RPF is an allowed business expenditure because it is recognized. Why we are disallowing unrecognized? It's not recognized by the income tax department. So unrecognized only not allowed. Recognized provident fund is allowed. Now wealth tax is not allowed. Any tax, it's not allowed. Income tax, gift tax, wealth tax, not allowed. So 30,500 plus total of all these disallowed items, 76,200. So total of A and B, you will get 1,06,700. Now expenses allowed. I told you depreciation, actual value, whatever is given in the additional information, we will allow 36,000. Now A plus B minus C. From 1,06,700, you are reducing 36,000, you are getting 70,700. Now less incomes not taxable under this head. So I told you refund of income tax is not allowed. It is 400. Now, so the taxable business income, we will get 70,700 minus 400. That is 70,300 will be the business profit. So you think that I told you always it will be a higher value. He started with net profit 30,500. When we recalculate, we are getting 70,300. Now coming to problem 3. Mr. M furnishes the following particulars to compute his business income for the assessment year 2021. Additional information. Legal expenses to the extent of rupees 5,000 represent the amount spent for curing the defects in the title of business asset and balance amount on acquiring the asset. So we have to see that legal expenses 5,000. Legal expenses. Then second one is know-how was developed in a laboratory financed by the state government. So if the actual depreciation is not given, we have to calculate 25%. In the first module, I have given the rates of depreciation. Actual bad debts amounted to 3,000. So whatever is given in the profit and loss account, we will disallow. Along with depreciation, actual depreciation, we will allow 3,000. Advertisement expenditure was paid in cash. So there usually now all the payments are made by check. If any payment is made by cash, we will disallow that item. Audit objection will be there. Now profit and loss account for the year ended 31/3/19 is given below. In the next slide. So debit side, trade expenses, it can be allowed for business. Wages and salaries can be allowed. Advertisement expenses allowed as a business expenditure. Income tax not allowed. Contribution to staff welfare fund allowed. Donation to approved fund not allowed. Any donation in cash or kind not allowed. Life insurance premium for own life not allowed. Provision for doubtful debts not allowed. Interest on capital. Here it is not mentioned that if it's from a bank or financial institution. So we can assume that if it's from wife or family member and all, we will disallow that. Provision for GST not allowed. Expenditure on know-how 18,000. That is a capital expenditure. It's not allowed. But depreciation 25% you have to calculate. It is not given in the additional information. You have to remember. That is why I have given the rates of depreciation. Patent, know-how and all 25%. This 18,000 we will disallow. Gift to 20 customers. It's maybe we can assume that it's for the advertisement. Fire insurance premium. It's not mentioned that for self-occupied house property. So we can allow that. Legal expenses not allowed. So net profit, his value is there 2,10,000. Now gross profit value we don't have to consider. Refund of income tax. It's not allowed. Refund of income tax not allowed. Now we will calculate that. So table showing the computation of Mr. M for that assessment year. Taxable business income we are calculating for Mr. M. So net profit is 2,10,000. Add inadmissible expenses debited to profit and loss account. Income tax not allowed. Contribution to staff welfare fund not allowed. Life insurance premium for own life not allowed. Provision for doubtful debts not allowed. Interest on capital not allowed. Provision for GST is not allowed. If actual GST paid is allowed. Expenditure on know-how, capital expenditure. But depreciation, it's not mentioned. You have to remember 25% you have to charge. Legal expenses for curing the title of the asset. It's not allowed because any legal expenses. So that is not allowed. So net profit plus this value, you are getting 2,62,800. Now that value, you have to allow what all items are actually allowed. So here you have to remember two items are there. Actual bad debts 3,000. Now depreciation on technical know-how. This value is not given in the additional information. You have to remember 25% for patents and know-how, technical know-how you have to remember. So we are calculating 4,500. So 7,500 you will reduce. Now less incomes which are not taxable under this head. Refund of income tax we cannot allow. 22,150. So business income, taxable business income is 2,33,150. Remember, net profit we started with 2,10,000. So we are getting a higher value, 2,33,150. Now problem 4. From the following profit and loss account of Mr. B for the year ending 31/3/19, compute the taxable business income for the assessment year 2021. Salaries allowed, sundry expenses allowed, reserve for bad debts not allowed. Insurance, it's not mentioned that it's for personal insurance, so we can allow that. Assume that it's for the business. Advertising allowed, income tax not allowed. Car expenses, you have to see that whether there is any personal component is there. That will be there in the additional information. Interest on capital, it's not mentioned that it's for the personal, somebody personal or family member he is paying tax. We have to see whether there is any additional information, if there is any information related to that. Interest on bank loan, it's allowed. Usually business people will take loan for business. Charity not allowed. LIC premium for own life not allowed. Gross profit we don't have to consider because we are taking with the net profit. Discount, commission and sundry receipts, all allowable expenses for business if there is no additional information related to that. Now, depreciation on building 1000, on furniture 200. Difference in trial balance. Net profit is 3,10,000. Now we have to calculate that. So that is additional information is there. Motor car was partly for official and partly for personal purposes. So personal purpose, we have to reduce that. Allowable depreciation as per Income Tax Act for building and furniture is 950. Profit and loss account is considering 1,200. Here it is only 950. So we have to adjust this. Advertisement expenses include 1,000 spent for special launch of a new product introduced in the market. That is allowed because when they are doing advertisement for new products and all, what all expenditure they incur, it's allowed. Salaries include 6,000. Amount withdrawn by Mr. B, the proprietor. Drawings is not allowed. Compute the business income of Mr. B chargeable to tax for the assessment year 2021. Now we will do this table showing the computation of taxable business income of Mr. B for the assessment year 2021. Net profit as per the profit and loss account 3,10,100. It's given in the profit and loss account. Expenses disallowed but debited to this account. Reserve for bad debts. Appropriation of profit not allowed. Income tax not allowed. Car expenses 50% is for personal expenses. So 31,200 divided by 2, 15,600 not allowed. Interest on capital. Here it is not mentioned that it's from the bank. We can assume it in two ways. If you write a note saying that it's for the wife or something, then you can, interest on capital can be this. If it's from a financial institution, genuinely if they are paying, that can be allowed. But here it's vague. So you can take it in two ways. If you are writing a note saying that it's assumed that it's from a financial institution, it need not be considered here. It can be allowed as a business expenditure. But here the assumption is it's within the family they are paying, so they are disallowing that. Charity not allowed. LIC premium for own life not allowed. Depreciation on building and furniture 1,200. Additionally, as per additional information, actual information is only 950. So we have to consider that. Now difference in trial balance, you have to disallow here. Drawings by proprietor not allowed. So 33,10,100 plus 31,480. That is total of all these values. Now A plus B you are getting 3,41,580. Now less expenses allowed but not debited to profit and loss account. Depreciation for building and depreciation for furniture 950. So you are reducing that. Credit side all the items are allowed. There is nothing mentioned in the additional information. So business income is 3,40,630. So we are getting a higher value than what is claimed by the proprietor. Now we will go to the next problem. From the following profit and loss account of Mr. G, compute the taxable business income for the assessment year 2021. Opening stock allowed, purchases allowed, salaries allowed, rent allowed, bonus allowed, printing, postage and stationery. That we can allow, but you have to see that whether there is any additional information. Miscellaneous expenses, that also usual course of business it's allowed. If there is any additional information, we have to see that. Advertisement expenses allowed, drawings not allowed. Credit side, sales is allowed, closing stock is allowed, interest from investments not allowed. It should go to income from other sources. By interest from debentures not allowed, it should go to income from other sources. Bank interest not allowed. Dividend discount, the bank interest should go to income from other sources. Discount receipt can be allowed because usually in the business they will get discount for making early payments and all. Winnings from race horses not allowed. It should go to income from other sources. Now continuing with the debit side, LIC premium, it's not mentioned whether it's for own life. So if it's own life, it's disallowed. Car expenses, that is driver's salary 6,000. Petrol and repairs of car 12,000. So property, we have to see in the additional information how much is personal, how much is official. Property tax not allowed. Medical expenses of physically handicapped son not allowed. Cost of national savings certificate 8th issue not allowed. Any investments, any savings not allowed. Net profit is 45,000. Now we will calculate. Oh, additional information is there. Advertisement expenses include the cost of 20 gift sets of rupees 250 each presented to doctors on occasion of Diwali. So that is usual thing if they want to promote as advertisement. Sometimes they will give gifts and all, that is allowed. Taxes are not deducted from interest received on debentures. That you don't have to consider because that interest, dividend received and all will go to income from other sources. Now if it's income received in a foreign country, then only you have to see that whether TDS is done or not. Now 2/3 of the car expenses are for business purpose. So 1/3 we will disallow because it's for personal purpose. Property tax 4,000 was paid for self-occupied house property. It's 4,000. The value is 4,000. So that is for self-occupied house property we will disallow. Compute the business income of Mr. G. Now we are calculating net profit is 45,000. Add expenses not allowed but debited to this account. Drawings 12,000. LIC premium 5,000. Car expenses 1/3 we have to reduce. Driver's salary and car expenses total 18,000. 1/3 when you take 6,000 you have to disallow. Property tax 4,000. Medical expenses of son, handicapped son 3,000 not allowed. Cost of national savings certificates 3,000. So total 33,000. So when you are adding A and B you will get 78,000. Now incomes not taxable under this head. Interest from Reliance Limited, exempted income. Interest on debentures 1,000. Bank interest 2,000. Race winnings 12,000. LIC maturity amount received 45,000. So 61,000. We have to reduce, and taxable business profit is A plus B plus C. A plus B minus C. So you are getting 17,000. A plus B minus C, you are getting 17,000. So 78,000 minus 61,000, you are getting 17,000. Now last problem. From the following profit and loss account of Mr. A, find out the business income of Mr. A for the assessment year 2021. Now debit side, rent is allowed, salary to staff is allowed, Diwali puja expenses, any puja that is for the welfare of the satisfaction of the employees, it's allowed. Any puja expenses for a business, it's allowed. Any religious background, Muslim, Christians, Hindu, anything allowed. Interest on loan, that we have to see whether it's personal or any additional information we have to see that. Sundry expenses 5,500, bad debt 600, charity 100, reserve for bad debts 200, to rates and taxes, reserve for bad debts not allowed, charity not allowed, rates and taxes you have to see the additional information. Entertainment 850. Now credit side we have to see gross profit 52,300. That we don't have to consider because we are considering their computation is starting from net profit. Interest from debtors, that is allowed because usually we will get interest from debtors for early payment or delayed payment. If debtors are making, we will collect interest. So that is allowed. Rent from property, it should not be coming under this head of income. It should go to income from house property. Sundry incomes, so that is usually other selling newspapers, selling that any small things, small income what they will get. That is also allowed. Commission is also allowed. Now loss by theft, that is not mentioned that it's from the bank or from the residence. So we have to see that whether there is any additional information. On that basis we have to see. Otherwise it's a business expenditure. Net profit 29,450. Now additional information is there. Rent includes 1,200 of a shop belonging to the assessee himself. So that cannot be allowed. Rent he cannot pay to himself. That is not allowed. Salary of staff includes 2,400 paid to his son who worked as part-time in his shop. Not allowed. Because salary to son, he may not be paying the salary to the son, but he will be just claiming that. Interest on loan includes loan of 6,000 at the rate of 15% per annum to his wife, and the funds are advanced by him. So this is not allowed. 6,000 into 15 by 100, that is not allowed. Sundry expenses include pilgrimage expenses of 900, not allowed. It's his personal expense. Entertainment expenses include rupees 150 spent for local MLA. So that also not allowed. Loss by theft includes 600 by a customer and 800 from his house. Customer is allowed because it happened within the organization. 800 what is lost from his house is not allowed. Rupees 4,000 earned from gold smuggling but is not included in the books. That we have to add back that item. So I told you any illegal income if they are getting, that also should be added. Rates include 400 for the let-out property. So that also is not allowed. Rates is not allowed. Now we are doing the problem. Net profit 29,450. And expenses debited which are not allowed. Rent paid to self. So own building he cannot pay rent 1,200. Salary to son not allowed. Interest on loan to wife 6,000 into 15 by 100 900 not allowed. Pilgrimage expenses 900 not allowed. Entertainment expenses to MLA that is not allowed. Loss by theft from house. From the business premises whatever is lost it's allowed because it's a business expenditure. From the house it's a capital loss. It's not allowed here. Rates of let out house property 400 not allowed. Charity not allowed. Reserve for bad debts not allowed. So take the total of all these disallowed items, you will get 7,050. 29,450 plus 7,050, you will get 36,500. Now less expenses allowed under this head but not debited to this account. So it is not there. Depreciation and all is not there. So less incomes not chargeable to this head of income. Rent from property 2,400. It should go to income from other sources. So 36,500 minus 2,400. You will get 34,100. Now illegal business profit is there. So profit from smuggling business you have to add. So you are getting total income A plus B minus C plus D. So 38,100. So these are the 6 problems I wanted to explain for computation of business income. I told you this is very simple and just by looking at the problem itself you can do that. Because you are just the basic accounting knowledge that will help you to do these problems. So that will be a good learning experience. So write the problems in your notebook. Then you do it on your own. Wherever you are not getting the correct answer, you see the video again and then you correct yourself. This is the best way of learning. And I told you this paper, it's your hard work. How much you are going to earn, the marks is only your hard work. Again and again you do that. You revise that. That is how you are going to get the marks. So wishing you all the best. Stay healthy, stay safe, keep the social distance and be all right and be energetic, be positive and then you get good marks. Be good citizens of India. Good marks and be our good students. So I can cherish that. You have contributed something for the education. Thank you very much. Give me a feedback, valuable feedback and I can improve on that. So thank you very much.